So your 20s are a time where you can really set yourself up financially for life. And this is an incredible time of your life to start building wealth because you have a very long time horizon. And time and consistency is how you can build wealth. So today, we are going to talk about the 11 personal finance goals for your 20s. The first one is to start educating yourself. Now, here at Master Money, we've talked about a bunch of great personal finance books in the past, and some of which are Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Millionaire Next Door, Just Keep Buying, and there's a ton of other ones that we love here as well. But if you look at some of these personal finance books, they all have a bunch of themes in common. So it's important for you to start reading personal finance books early on in your journey. Even if you just read 5 or 6 personal finance books, you're going to get the concepts very early on, and you're going to be able to build a tremendous amount of wealth, especially if you're in your 20s. So we have linked up down below, we have some of our favorite personal finance books. So check some of those out because there's an absolutely amazing habit for you to start in your 20s. The second one is to learn how to track your money or create a budget. Now, we have 2 budgets we talk about here all the time at Master Money. The first one is the reverse budget. We've done a video on the reverse budget, but what the reverse budget is where you save your money off the top and then you spend what is left over. So this eliminates you having to pull out things like spreadsheets or have weekly meetings with your partner, anything along those lines. The second way is the traditional budget, where you have a line by line item budget, where you use a spreadsheet or something like Mint.com or YNAB, and you use those tools to track your spending every month. Now, doing it that way is a lot more efficient only because you can track very micro and small things. But if that's something you just don't have time for, use the reverse budget. It's one of the better options out there. The next one is to start an emergency fund. And what an emergency fund is a place where you stash cash, typically in a high yield savings account, so that if anything happens in life, then you just have the money there. And there's power in having the money just there because it keeps you stress free. It relieves anxiety so that if your car breaks down or you have an issue with your house or something happens and you have a medical emergency, all of those issues are taken care of with your emergency fund. You don't have to worry about where the money is going to come from. You have enough stress in life as it is. Make sure that those stresses are taken care of so you don't have additional stress in life. The next one is to eliminate credit card debt. If you have credit card debt, it is the enemy to wealth building. Why? Because typically the interest rates on credit card debt are extremely high, which means compound interest is working against you. And credit card debt is an incredible wealth killer. So say, for example, you have $20,000 in credit card debt and you have to pay $500 every single month just to keep up with that bill. Well, that $500 could be utilized instead to be investing. So you want to get rid of that credit card debt as fast as possible because $500 a month over the course of 30 years is over $1 million if you invest that money into something like the S&P 500. So you want to make sure that you avoid credit card debt at all costs. And if in the past you've had credit card debt, maybe look into other options so you don't get back into credit card debt as well. Now, if you're in credit card debt, we actually have a course coming out, and it's a completely free course with 8 modules so that you can get out of debt as fast as you can. The next one is to start tracking your credit score. Now, your credit score is very important. And the reason why is it helps you get lower interest rates when you want to buy something like a car or a house. Now, why is this important? Because over the course of 30 years, if you buy a house, your interest payments on something like a $100,000 house could be well above $100,000 as well. And if you have a lower interest payment, that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your lifetime. So you want to make sure that you're controlling that credit score. It's also so much easier to get a loan when you buy a house or a car. The next one is to start a retirement account. Now, retirement accounts are fantastic for people who want to save money on taxes as they build wealth over time. And there's a couple that we talk about all the time here, but the first one is the Roth IRA. And the Roth IRA is a retirement account. At the time I'm recording this, you can put $6,000 a year into a Roth IRA, where you put money in that's already been taxed, like your W-2 income. Your money grows tax-free and you can pull the money out tax-free. Now, this is really powerful because that growth of that money is typically the majority when you invest your dollars. Another great retirement account is something like an HSA, which has triple tax benefits. And the way the HSA works is that you contribute money, it's tax-free, the money can be invested and it grows tax-free, and you can pull the money out tax-free. All you have to do is have a qualified medical expense. And the last one we can talk about is an IRA or a 401k. So a 401k is an employer-sponsored plan. You typically can have one at your job, and it's the opposite of the Roth IRA. So you put your money in and it's tax-free. The money grows, and then you pull your money out and you get taxed on the money when you pull it out, depending on what your tax bracket is at that time. So these are 3 great retirement accounts to look into, and you want to get these started in your 20s because it's an incredibly important time to start building wealth, and investing is the catapult to building wealth. You want to make sure that you do whatever you can to build wealth and start off investing in your 20s. The next thing you want to consider is plan out your debt repayment plan for your student loans. Now, your student loans, if their interest rate is above 5%, then you want to really focus and hone in on paying those down as fast as possible. The reason is the same reason as the credit card debt, because you want to make sure that you have as many dollars as you possibly can every single month going into investments so that you can build up your wealth snowball. And debt is something that gets in your way from doing that, specifically high interest debt, which is what we classify anything above 5%. So making sure that you put together a plan, which our free debt course shows you exactly how to do that, but making sure you put together this plan so that you can get rid of that debt as fast as possible and then use those dollars towards things that bring you value. If you want to retire early, you can put those extra dollars towards your investments. If you want to travel the world, you can put those extra dollars towards travel. But making sure that you can put your dollars exactly where you want them instead of giving them to the debt collector is the best option for you and your money. And it's what your money is there to do, is to bring you value. The next one is to start a side hustle, because your 20s is the best time to experiment, specifically with businesses and side hustles. The reason why is the more dollars that you can earn in your 20s, the more dollars you can put towards investments or towards things that bring you value, and you can start building out the life that you want. Your 20s is a time where you can make minimal sacrifices and build out the life that you want so you can have the lifestyle you want for the rest of your life. And a side hustle is a great way to do that, because increasing your income is the fastest way to build wealth. And as you increase your income, you invest those extra dollars and you're going to be an unstoppable force. But starting in your 20s is what you want to do to make sure that you're hitting those goals. Now, there's a bunch of different side hustles out there. We've talked about a number of them as well, and we'll link them down below so you can check some of those out. But here's a framework just to think about: what side hustle should I be doing? What are your interests surrounded with? And how can you create content, or how can you create products or services around those interests? Because if you're interested in your side hustle, you're much more likely to pursue it on nights and weekends. The next one along those same lines is start to build up skills that will help you increase your income. So when you start to build up skills that'll help you increase your income, one of the best things that you can do is figure out, hey, in my career path, what can I add to my resume that's going to allow me to make more money over time? There's a number of things that are out there. For example, if you're a nurse, you can get additional certifications. If you're in the business world, you can become proficient in Excel or financial spreadsheets, or a number of other things that are going to help you create reports and create other things that other people cannot do. Because once you bring value to the table, they can't help but give you promotions. But you have to bring that value first. So learning new skills or getting additional certifications or maybe even advanced degrees are something you want to do in your 20s, because it gets a lot harder as your career progresses to add some of these things. So making sure you add them as early as possible so you are the superstar at your career is the best way to increase your income. The next one along the same lines is practice negotiating, because over the course of your career, you're going to want to be able to negotiate your salary. Now, we wrote a free ebook teaching you how to negotiate your salary. If you haven't checked that out, we have a very specific system that's going to allow you to increase your income over time. And it's going to teach you, hey, you don't just walk into your boss's office and ask for a raise. You're actually going to start this process 6 months to a year in advance, telling them, hey, I want to build up skills so that I can make more money at my job. How can I do that? And let's meet every single month so we can make sure that I'm on track, because I want to bring as much value as possible to this company and want to make sure that I'm bringing as much value to you and our department as well. How can we do this? And you have this open conversation with your boss, and making sure you're on track monthly or making sure you're on track bi-monthly is going to help you stay in communication so there's no surprises when you come up and start asking for a raise. So we walk through how to do this step by step in that ebook. So make sure you check it out. I'll link it down below as well, so you can see exactly how we do this so you can build additional wealth by increasing your income. And then the last one is to set long-term financial goals. Now, this could be a number of things, and it's very personal for each person, but a lot of people are the same when it comes to their long-term financial goals. They don't want to work anymore. They want to have freedom to travel. They want to have freedom to do whatever they want with their time. They want to spend more time with their kids. There's a lot of different goals that really are intertwined with each and every single person. So figuring out what those goals are and then figuring out how much money do I need to hit those goals is how you're going to achieve those goals. So get together with your partner, get together with yourself, take some time to think through this, write those goals down, and then figure out, hey, what do I need to do in the next 5 years to hit that goal? What do I need in the next 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, and monthly? Then bring it down to daily. Because what you're going to try to do here is get daily actions that you can take so that you can achieve those goals as fast as you possibly can. But writing them down and making sure they're in pen and paper is how you're going to achieve those goals. Listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video about the 11 personal finance goals for your 20s. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, or you can hit us up on Instagram or TikTok as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And guess what? We'll see ya on the next video.